Picture this. You're lying in bed at 3 a.m., and your feet feel like they're literally burning. You kick off the covers, searching for relief, but nothing works. Or maybe your experience is different. Maybe it's your hands that feel like countless invisible needles are constantly pricking you. You've brought it up to your doctor. They smiled, tapped your shoulder, and said the two words that frustrate you most. It's just age. But what if that's completely incorrect? What if the real cause of your nerve damage has little to do with aging and everything to do with something hidden in plain sight? Something so preventable and manageable that once you understand it, you'll wonder why no one told you earlier. And here's the part that should concern you. The medications you take every morning to stay healthy could actually be harming your nervous system. I've spoken with thousands of patients who come into my clinic believing something that isn't true. They assume their nerve pain is permanent. They've accepted it as part of their life now, but that assumption is not accurate, and I'm going to explain why. Inside your body right now, there are about 45 miles of nerves. Yes, 45 miles, enough to stretch from New York to Philadelphia. These nerves allow you to feel everything. Your partner's touch, your grandchild's hug, the ground beneath your feet as you walk. Each nerve is protected by a coating called myelin. Think of it as insulation around electrical wires. When that coating begins to break down, problems start quickly. Signals misfire, pain receptors become overactive, and your brain receives mixed messages that feel like burning, stabbing, or electric shocks. And once this process begins, it usually doesn't stop on its own. This condition is known as peripheral neuropathy. Right now, more than 20 million Americans are living with it. That's about 1 in every 16 people. Someone in your family may have it. It could even be you. What's concerning is that many people dealing with this condition don't realize that a simple vitamin deficiency may be damaging their nerves. Even more troubling, the medications prescribed to help you, the ones you trust and take consistently, may be reducing this essential nutrient in your body day after day. Let's look at how this happens. You go to your doctor and your blood sugar levels are high. They prescribe metformin, one of the most commonly used diabetes medications in the world. Over 150 million people rely on it. You follow the advice and take it regularly. But you also deal with heartburn, which is common. So you take omeprazole or another proton pump inhibitor. Again, this is very typical. Millions of people follow the same routine. Here's the issue that often isn't explained. Metformin can interfere with the absorption of vitamin B12 in your intestines. Research shows that around 10% to 30% of people taking metformin develop a B12 deficiency, and some studies suggest the number could be higher. At the same time, heartburn medications reduce stomach acid, which your body needs to properly absorb B12 from food. Together, these factors create a serious imbalance. Your body is being affected from two sides at once. And there's more to consider. If you're over 60, your body naturally produces less stomach acid. Aging already reduces your ability to absorb nutrients effectively. If you also follow a plant-based diet, which contains little to no vitamin B12, your risk increases even further. In that case, it's not just a possibility. It becomes a significant nutritional concern. Your body needs this vitamin. Every nerve cell depends on it to function properly. But modern lifestyle factors, medications, diet, and aging can all limit your access to it. And here's the most serious part. By the time symptoms appear, some nerve damage may already be difficult to reverse. That tingling you've been ignoring isn't minor. It's your body's emergency alert system. Your nerves are sending warning signals before serious damage occurs. The numbness you feel today could be an early sign of lasting disability tomorrow. I've seen patients lose the ability to walk. I've watched people lose their independence and dignity, all because they waited too long to deal with something that was completely preventable. So, what is this powerful nutrient that could help protect you? It's called vitamin B12, and its story is truly remarkable. Let's go back to the 1920s. Doctors were frightened by a mysterious condition known as pernicious anemia. Patients became extremely pale, weak, and developed severe neurological problems. It was always fatal, without exception. Then, 3 researchers discovered something unexpected. They began feeding patients raw liver. It may sound unpleasant, but the results were extraordinary. These patients began to recover. They came back from the brink of death. The medical community was amazed. Those 3 scientists were awarded the Nobel Prize in Medicine in 1934. Still, they didn't fully understand why it worked. It took another 14 years for scientists to isolate the key substance inside liver, a complex, bright red molecule with a cobalt atom at its center. They named it vitamin B12, also known as cobalamin. Another Nobel Prize was awarded just for identifying its structure. Think about that. A single molecule so essential to human life that it earned 2 Nobel Prizes. But why is B12 so important? It acts like the master electrician of your nervous system. It performs 2 critical functions that keep your nerves alive. First, B12 supports a process called methylation. In this process, it converts a harmful amino acid called homocysteine into a beneficial one called methionine. When this system works properly, your body produces a compound called SAMe, which is essential for building and repairing myelin, the protective layer around your nerves. Without enough B12, homocysteine builds up to toxic levels. It's like a harmful substance spreading through your nervous system, damaging nerves while also blocking repair. Second, B12 is essential for energy production inside every nerve cell. Each cell contains tiny power units called mitochondria, and B12 is required for them to function properly. Without enough B12, especially in its active form, adenosylcobalamin, these power units begin to fail. When that happens, a toxic compound called methylmalonic acid starts to accumulate. This acid doesn't just disrupt energy production, it also damages the myelin sheath itself. So what's really happening here? A B12 deficiency doesn't attack your nerves from just one direction. It's a serious 2-pronged attack. It blocks the repair of the protective coating while at the same time damaging the nerve from the inside out. Your nerves are being compressed and harmed simultaneously. That's why the symptoms are so intense. That's why people feel such severe pain. That's why early action isn't just helpful, it's absolutely essential. Wait too long, and the damage can become permanent. But this is where hope comes into the picture. If you recognize yourself in what I'm describing, there is a clear path toward recovery. However, you need to be strategic. You need to stay informed, because even the testing process can sometimes mislead you. Step 1. Get the correct tests. Don't rely only on a standard B12 blood test. This is very important. Many labs consider anything above 200 picograms per milliliter as normal. That level is far too low for proper nerve health. I recommend aiming for levels above 450 to 500 picograms per milliliter, but even that may not be enough. You should request additional tests, methylmalonic acid, known as MMA, and homocysteine levels. When these markers are high, it's a clear warning that your cells are lacking B12. Even if your basic blood test appears fine, these functional tests show what is truly happening inside your cells, not just what's circulating in your bloodstream. This difference can be crucial for protecting your nervous system. Step 2. Select the right form of B12. Pay close attention here, because this is where many people are misled. If you walk into a pharmacy or health store, you'll see inexpensive B12 supplements everywhere. Most of them contain cyanocobalamin. This is a synthetic form that includes a cyanide component. Yes, cyanide. Your body must work hard to remove that component and convert cyanocobalamin into a usable form. Many individuals, especially those with certain genetic variations, cannot convert it efficiently. As a result, they spend money on supplements that provide little benefit. What you need instead is methylcobalamin. This is the active form that your nervous system can use directly to repair damaged myelin. An even better option is a supplement that combines both methylcobalamin and adenosylcobalamin. This approach targets the problem from 2 key angles: myelin repair and cellular energy production. Hydroxycobalamin is also a strong option that your body can easily convert. Step 3. The delivery method matters greatly. This is where many people unknowingly undermine their results. If you have absorption issues, and realistically, if you're over 60, taking medications, or dealing with digestive problems, you likely do, then swallowing pills is often ineffective. The B12 may pass through your system without proper absorption. Instead, you need sublingual forms. These include tablets or liquid drops that dissolve under the tongue. They bypass the digestive system and enter directly into the bloodstream through the mucous membranes in your mouth. For severe deficiency or active neuropathy, intramuscular injections remain the gold standard. They deliver the full therapeutic dose exactly where your body needs it. Many patients experience significant life-improving changes within just weeks of starting injection therapy. The results can be remarkable. Step 4. Dosing for meaningful results. Maintenance dosing is one thing, but addressing active nerve damage requires a different approach. For general maintenance, 1,000 micrograms daily is usually sufficient. However, if you're actively dealing with neuropathy and experiencing symptoms, you need therapeutic doses, typically between 1,000 and 5,000 micrograms of methylcobalamin daily for at least 3 to 6 months. Research clearly shows that 1,000 micrograms of methylcobalamin taken daily leads to measurable improvements in patients with diabetic neuropathy. Pain levels decrease, nerve conduction improves, and overall quality of life improves significantly. Step 5. The supporting nutrients. B12 does not function alone. It requires specific nutrients to reach its full effectiveness. Vitamin B6, specifically in its active form, P5P, works together with B12. Folate, in the form of methylfolate rather than synthetic folic acid, plays a critical role in the methylation process. Vitamin B1, particularly in its fat-soluble form known as benfotiamine, has shown strong results in protecting nerves from high blood sugar damage, which is especially important for those with diabetes. Magnesium acts as a natural regulator for the nervous system. It helps calm overactive nerves that may be sending incorrect pain signals. Additionally, alpha-lipoic acid, YLA, is a powerful antioxidant. Because it is both water-soluble and fat-soluble, it can protect nerve cells both internally and externally. Multiple clinical studies have shown that taking 600 milligrams of ALA daily can significantly reduce pain, burning sensations, and numbness in individuals with diabetic neuropathy. Step 6. Food as your foundation. While supplements help correct deficiencies, long-term health depends on proper nutrition. The richest sources of B12 come exclusively from animal-based foods. Liver and organ meats contain the highest levels. Shellfish, especially clams and mussels, are also excellent sources. Fatty fish like wild-caught salmon and sardines, grass-fed beef, pasture-raised eggs, and high-quality dairy products all provide meaningful amounts of B12. If you follow a plant-based diet, supplementation is not optional. It is essential. It is also important to avoid the misconception that spirulina or chlorella provide usable B12. They contain B12 analogs that do not function properly in the human body and may even interfere with absorption and accurate blood testing. It is critical to understand that nerve damage can become irreversible once it reaches a certain stage. The time to act is not later or when symptoms worsen. It is now, before permanent loss of sensation or balance issues occur. That burning sensation you may feel is not just discomfort. It is your body's warning signal indicating that something is seriously wrong. B12 deficiency is a widespread issue affecting many people. However, unlike many conditions such as cancer or heart disease, it is preventable, identifiable, and treatable. The nervous system has a strong ability to repair itself when supported properly. Many patients who once struggled to walk have regained mobility. Others who suffered from persistent burning pain have finally experienced relief. The common factor in these cases is that they acted before reaching an irreversible stage. If this information has helped you understand the issue more clearly, there are 3 important steps you should take right away.